What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a great Tuesday night. I myself, going blind in my right eye, something just went right in my eye, so had to put the show off for a couple minutes. If you see me blinking weird, I apologize. Can't really see. But I hope you're all having a great night. It was a great day, a beautiful day out. Got to go to the kids' game. It was 25-7 victory. It was quite the runs being rang up there. It was a good one. So, look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm having myself a great day, but I am more excited about the fact that you're here joining me, and we're going to talk some birds because the OTAs began today. We know that football is right around the corner. We still have a few months, but there is a lot to talk about. So tomorrow, being June 1st, we have talked about for months, be prepared for post-June 1st. We're going to get some more money. We've been talking about all that money, all those great things. You know, tomorrow I already have a show ready. I've got all that money figured out, but we're also going to talk about how much cap space the Eagles will actually have after they get that money, after they finally sign the final remaining rookie in Cam Jurgens. So we're going to get into that stuff tomorrow. Tonight, we're going to take a look at the positional battles. We're going to get into all of it. We're going to look at all of them. And look, ladies and gentlemen, I think this thing saved incorrectly. It doesn't want to show my face. So that's unfortunate. But as you can see here, there's a lot to talk about. We're going to go through all of it. I'm pretty pissed off if it did not have that background saved for every single one of them. Backend's coming. Nina in the house. You know it's going to be a good night. Hope you're doing well. Hope you and the family are well. Always nice to see you. I'm very excited to talk some birds here tonight. We're going to go through the roster, take a quick look at each position. You guys can give me your thoughts, whatever it may be. If you have any questions, comments, you can throw them my way. Happy to hear what you guys have to say because there's a lot of talent added to this roster. We're going to look at all of that. My man, Drew, in the building. What is going on, dude? Doing well, doing much better. Past few days were pretty rough, but the little guy had a rough day too. We've all been, it's been rough, but everybody's doing well now. We're on the mend. So thank you, man. Hopefully you're doing well also. And everybody else that's tuning in, hope you guys are well. It's been an awesome day, a beautiful day, and I'm excited here. So hit that like button, subscribe if you enjoy talking birds, because that's what we're getting into tonight. The sun beat my ass all day, but I still have those fumes left, baby. So we're going to get into it. Let me know what's on your mind, though. And if you have any questions that don't pertain to any of this, that's fine. We'll keep it going. Let me see if it did this for every single picture. It did. It did. That's really going to ruin what I had planned. All right. So first up, we're going to talk about quarterbacks, ladies and gentlemen. Jalen Hurts. We all know that this dude is the real deal. QB1. When he comes to work, he means business. Now, the question is, can he develop in the areas he needs to be an elite quarterback in this league? Well, we can hope so, but we really don't know until we see it on the field. Now, we do know that he's been doing everything he can to get better this offseason. You heard some chatter, Tom Brady, Tom House. I let you guys know that was not true. That's not what he was doing. But I can assure you, what I can tell you is that he has been out working with someone who, maybe not Yoda, but, maybe Han Solo or somebody out there helping him out. He's got the right mind. Well, I guess let's stick to Jedis. Let's go with Luke then. Maybe that'd be a better analogy. I'm drifting out to sea already. Now, anyways, when you're looking at this team, man, I think that Jalen Hurts, you had to build around him, right? We needed to know if he is QB1. I mean, he's only costing you like 1.6 mil this year. That's great for a starting quarterback. I hope he is the future. You don't want to have to use another pick or whatever they would plan on doing for another quarterback. So I've spoke since last year how last year would be bumpy roads, but this year we got lots of money, lots of caps, picks, all that stuff we could use. We used it, and we talked about all the people we should use it on, and we got most of them. So this is how you build around Jalen Hurts. So we're going to find out if this dude's the real deal. But you saw the list there, and I'm really pissed off that those pictures didn't save like that. But you see Gardner Minshew, Carson Strong, Reed Sinnett. Now, you heard some chatter about Nick Foles, and we talked about this. Maybe the Eagles would look at a veteran backup if they were to trade Gardner. So that is always a possibility if a team becomes, quarterback needy. There already are some teams I feel could use him. So regardless of that, Carson Strong, I thought was the best undrafted quarterback by far. He was one of the better quarterbacks in this draft. So without that injury history, I think he would have been drafted, whatever. But high hopes for him. But he is a backup. So who cares? This is Jalen Hurts' team. That's all we need to know. Excited to see how he's grown. Excited to see how this team does. Man, am I really pissed off that did not save with those backgrounds. So here's what we're going to have to do. So we are going on to running back. Sorry, I just started doing this with the sidebar thing. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. But clearly it didn't save with cutting the background out like I wanted, so I could still sit here and talk to you. But you don't need to see that. We'll just go through the damn positions and we'll talk about them. So up next, running back, Miles Sanders. Look, we all know, we've talked about it a million times. Is this his last year? I do not know. Didn't score a single touchdown last year. Oh, no. Look, running back by committee. I love it. I love the way we use the backs. We talked about run the damn ball for 5 weeks. They finally started to. We found success. You don't want your first year starting quarterback out there throwing the ball 30 plus times. So run the ball. We did that. Yes, let's go. So this year we don't have Jordan Howard in the room, but we saw how much we use Kenny Gainwell as a rookie. I imagine he's going to be a big part of the offense again. Boston Scott was brought back, but you've got someone like Jason Huntley who, could kind of replace him, helps on special teams, brings that depth. We'll see what he can do this year. But then I know a lot of people's undrafted favorite to like this year, Kennedy Brooks, a tough runner. You guys saw the highlights, the stats, all the stuff we talked about him in that undrafted video. Go check that out. But a lot of hope for the kid because, well, there's no other power back here. So if Kennedy Brooks wants to step it up, go get you some young man. He can catch the ball, pass protect a little. Got to work on those things. And obviously you're coming in the NFL. You obviously have to work on those things. So I think that the kid, long shot, but it's an open position. But once again, look for someone like a Jordan Howard to sneak back onto this roster if they don't feel comfortable. They want themselves a goal line back, which I think they should. So we'll see which direction they go. But I think running back, man, it's another one where, I don't know, man. It's an iffy one. My man in the building, Philly Talk Podcast. I believe that is Mike. And dude, what a pleasure it's been getting to talk to you here the last couple of days. Cannot wait to get some working with you, dude. Hope you're having a great night. It's been a hell past 5 days. It was really exciting today, just being able to get ready, knowing I was being able to get on a show tonight. And then tomorrow, I told you guys, I have another one set. We're going to talk about what the cap space is going to look like after we save that around $4 million tomorrow. Well, after tomorrow, post June 1st. And we talk about Cam Jurgens still needing to be signed. So don't worry. I simplified all of it, did the math, everything. But appreciate you tuning in, man. Really appreciate you. Appreciate all of you guys, though. And, if you have any comments, anything you guys want to throw out there, we're just going through this roster here. Try to reach me on Facebook. It's the only thing I have. Drew, that is the one thing I hate using, but I will jump on Facebook. I actually got rid of Messenger. I always tell people, I'm like, don't message me on that. But I do try to check every once in a while on my computer. I haven't in a few days. Things have just been wild, man. But I'll definitely check for you, man, and I will get back to you. I got to do the same with Twitter and everything else, man. I get a lot of notifications, and it just destroys my phone. So I had to turn it to a point where I turn that stuff off, and then I get drifting out to sea and forget to check stuff. So bear with me, ladies. That's why I always tell you guys, I'm like, please message me again if you feel like I'm not getting back to you in a timely manner, because I've got a family too, and it just adds into all the fun that, we all know life. So I'm telling you, dude, I'm a drifter. I'm out to sea here, dude. We got some shout outs here from Drew, and yo, my man Sean in the building. Let's go. And yes, let's go, Jalen. Let's go, Mylan. Ready to talk about these positions, man, because I'm very excited about the depth we've added here. Goat boy, he says. He must know you a little more than I do, but Drew, huge fan of yours and a huge fan of Mike. So happy that you're both in the building, doing what I love, talking birds. And this is what it's all about, bringing us all together. And you guys know my story on my deathbed. This is my escape. You know what I mean? So it's always a pleasure, whenever you guys tune in. And I used to do this daily, but clearly with life coming back, I'm not in a hospital bed. I'm not, crippled anymore here. So, and I really was. I was in a wheelchair, but I still got it done. But I'm always here for you. If you ever need me, Facebook isn't the best, but if I don't respond to you there, try another way. You know what I mean? So always there for you guys, because you guys are always there for me. So I truly appreciate the hell out of all of you guys. And that is truth, facts, all of the above. Happy to have you guys all here. My man Adam in the building. Things are getting wild tonight. Let's get it going. And do I think Reagor will be the team to start? We're going to get into that in 2 seconds here, my man Adam. Hold up. And yep. And then Whiteside, we're going to get into that as well. Give me 2 seconds. We're getting right into the wide receiver. We just went over the running backs, and my God, sorry, I just hit it again. My face is not going to show up because it didn't save the damn thing, but yep, we're on the wide receiver. So A.J. Brown. What did we talk about this offseason? The Philadelphia Eagles trading for a big name wide receiver, and boy, oh boy, did they do that. We talked about the cap space, how we could push it down the road, how we could do all those things, and how we did all those things. And he also has us in a position where we could still make a trade for a safety. I've mentioned that a million times, and I'm going to keep mentioning it, and tomorrow it's going to be a big part of that show. But adding someone like A.J. Brown, that's already a big enough move for me. So this right here, you're not seeing some of these receivers because I'm going to talk about them separately. So you have A.J. Brown here, Devontae Smith. We all know what he brings to the table. Another year, he's only going to get better. I cannot wait. But the rest of these guys, they're all questionable to make the roster. Now, Jalen Reagor, we have spoke extensively about him. We've also talked about, I would prefer, and I think the Eagles would prefer as well, to trade Jalen Reagor because the money would do you a lot better. You don't want to just cut him. I'm telling you, even if you cut him right now, you're losing a big chunk of money. You already have like $36 million in dead money this year. He would add another 2. If you get rid of him post June 1st, I think it lessens it a little bit. Actually, I think post June 1st. So obviously after tomorrow, you would save like $2 million. If it would have been before, it would have been like 4. So everybody was clamoring for it. And I said, just hold your horses. After June 1st, he's more likely to be cut. Also likely to be traded at some point if we can make a move for one of these safeties. So I'm not really sure if he's on the roster. So to answer your question, Adam, hoping the best for him. I know he went through another tragedy, losing another friend. So prayers up to him, man. I really hate to see that. But when we're talking football on the field, he has not shown up in his couple years here. A first-round pick. We all know we passed on Justin Jefferson. It'll haunt us, but it doesn't have to anymore. Because once again, we added A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith's here. So you've got those 2 guys, right? That's 1 and 2. I don't care what you want to call them. But I'm a little excited about that because then that opens up things for our slot wide receivers. And look, these guys are very interchangeable. All these guys can play slot, X, Z. And I mean the starters, Quez, A.J. Brown, and Devontae Smith. So I don't care what you want to call them, but this is just a way to show you guys. So for these smaller receivers, it's time to shine for Quez Watkins. And I've already spoke extensively about how I think he's going to have a big season. And I think he was going to before we got A.J. Brown. So now I really think, that's going to open things up for him. And when he gets his opportunities, obviously there were some missed throws, but obviously there were some missed catches by him as well. So goes both ways. But in this room, we brought back Greg Ward. We signed Zach Pascal, obviously the familiarity with Nick Sirianni. But you've got 2 young men that can return the ball in Devin Allen, a hurdler, Olympic dude, and then Britton Covey, who is really fun to watch. Go check out those highlights from that undrafted video. If you haven't noticed, sorry, this is from the other show. I should have explained. But if they're in green, they're a new player. If they're outlined in white, it's a rookie. I'm sure you figured it out. But just to verify. But there you see those receivers, man. I'm really excited. Quez Watkins, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith is your top 3. And then beyond that, we'll get into that. Once we take a look at all of the offense here, we'll get to the tight end and then offensive line. I'm going to talk about what the depth chart looks like. So I think here, I'm really excited about what these wide receivers are going to be because, bro, we haven't had that. And we got Devontae Smith last year. And you guys know I wrote that article about why we should draft him. So I was jumping through the effing roof when we got him. But I think for me, adding A.J. Brown, this is just going to make it 10 times better. So you like that, Drew? I'm slick with the words. Hope Reagor turns it around. Dude's just rough go. And that's the thing. Sean, glad you said that. I actually talked to my girlfriend last night and I was like, I actually feel really bad for him. He's been going through things and, you guys know my story. I've watched all 3 of my best friends pass away, my childhood, teenage, and adult. Watch my father pass. So I understand when you're going through those things, it's hard to, just, chin up and get over there. It's like, and I know that this kid has talent and I do. And I'm not trying to make excuses for him, but I know he's gone through a lot. So I'm with you, Sean. I hope nothing but the best for him, but maybe if it's a change of scenery he wants and the team wants, I understand that. So I wouldn't be, against it if it happened, but if he stays, man, what a great opportunity for him because he's not the 1, he's not the 2, he's not the 3, and he might not even be the 4 in this team. So you've got yourself an opportunity, but we'll see if the Eagles give it to him, man. But I'm with you, man. I'm hoping the best for him. I know that's really crappy stuff to be going through, man. So my best of wishes to him. Definitely feel for him, man. Yeah, I hate that stuff, man. Lost too many people I care about. So my heart goes out to him. The legend. Yo, my man. What's up, Brian? Dude, had a great weekend. things were a little rough with the health, but dude, I'm back on track. You guys know I'm trying not to, whatever. So doing good. And we're back in action, and I'm ready to talk birds. So that's all I can ask. Brian, you are the man, and I am just happy to have you here, all of you guys, because when I come here, this is where I can find peace. And, the woman just got home from work, so I'm going to get to spend some time with her. Obviously, that's my favorite thing to do in the world. Got to go with the little man to the game. Also, one of my favorite things to do in the world. So I'm having a top tier day, man. So I hope all of you guys are having a top tier day. And if not, let's just make it one. And looking at this roster should help you get there. We're going to, like I said, I'm going to show you the depth chart when I get to each of the end of the offense, the defense, and then the special teams. I'll try to go through this fast as I can. It's not football, but I love Devin Allen and 110. Dude, I've been watching him. A lot of the players been retweeting his stuff, and I just started following him finally. And I was like, holy shit, this dude, he's good. He is fun to watch. So we're going to see how that translates on the field. And I know we played at Oregon 7 years ago. So it's like riding a bike. I can get out there, play some football, but this is the NFL we're talking about. Okay. Kid never played in the NFL. And yeah, that's not just something you can, so hey, he's got an open position here because we're going to don't worry. I did not leave out special teams. We're getting to those return specialists at the end. So that's going to be a fun one, man. I hope he does make the team though. And the same goes for Britton and Covey. I hope one of them just stands out and does something. I hope somebody's like, look, I'm taking that return job and I can provide you depth at that slot wide receiver. Boom. Nick Sirianni, I'm all in. I just, Michael Clay, yep, give him to me. I need a return man. Let's go. All about it. A lot of bodies and talent. Can't wait to see what they bring. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, dude. We've got a lot here right now. The 90 plus guys here. So we're going to have Brooks retiring tomorrow. We're going to have all that stuff happening, or I don't know if it doesn't technically have to happen there, but dude, we're getting more money. Dude, the fun, it never stops here, ladies and gentlemen. And some people, I don't want to talk about the cap. It's like, I try to make it fun for you so you can, not only understand it, but be able to go to your friends and be like, nah. When they tell you, we're not trading for a big name receiver. We can't sign us on Reddick because they're white. You can tell them, well, actually, I found out that we do have cap space, and I'm going to show you right now. So that's what we're doing here, man. And I'm dying. I don't want to do any more math. Like, I just want football. So doing what I can to get you guys through. And tomorrow we're doing more math, but I'm going to show you the cap space we have. I already know it. It's over $10 million. That's after. Okay, so June 2nd, this is what the money's going to look like once Brandon Brooks' money and Fletcher Cox money moves around. And then I'm just going to incorporate Cam Jurgens because once that deal is done, I already know the money there. So I got the numbers for you, ladies and gentlemen. So tune in tomorrow. Let's go. But, dude, I got to read the rest of your question. It's supposed to make the transition easier the Phillies. Don't do it to me. Don't even do it. The Sixers crushed my soul. The Phillies profusely want to kill me. The Flyers, they killed me this year. I can't. So the Eagles, I'm holding on to everything. Let's go. And Brian, we've been sitting here since last year. We're getting through these bumpy roads, but everybody that was jumping ship, we're like, don't do it. Don't do it, because wait till this draft, all that money, wait to see what Howie does. And nobody passed on Justin Jefferson. Nobody drafted Devontae Smith, and then Landon Dickerson and Milton Williams and Zach McPherson and Kenny Gainwell and Patrick Johnson and Jacoby Stevens, Teron Jackson that year. So yeah. And then this year we talked about, he's going to back it up with the great, Jordan Davis trade for AJ Brown. Holy shit. Nakobe Dean at 83. Are you kidding me? But yeah, we got Cam Jurgens there too. Sorry, didn't mean to pass you, bud. But Nakobe Dean at 83, holy shit. And Kyron Johnson, I've talked about, one of the most slept on guys because we needed Sam linebacker depth. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into it. You're getting me excited. Better late than never. My man, Sweaty JP or Swavy. There's a guy, Sweaty J. I almost said that. And that's Josh Sweat, Swavy JP. And I believe your name is AJ. So I try to put them all in the bank, especially if your guys' names are not in your name. I'm like, oh God. But dude, I'm hearing talk Isaac's going to be a cap casualty. Well, you've been hearing that here, that I've talked about his money. Go back and check out that video. I'll post it in the comments you guys want to see. But I've been talking about Isaac this whole offseason. And obviously the guy who I'm friends with, someone very close to him and a lot of these guys. So I was talking to that person like, look, Isaac, Nate, you got to watch out. They could definitely be, out the door. And, Nate's gone. We know that. But Isaac, we talked about what the depth's going to look like. So let me get into it here in a second and let me further touch on that. But I think Sayamalu, has always been possibility because of that $5 million he could save. So give me 1 sec. Got AJ Brown, that Jefferson talk. Yeah, dude. It was put to rest for me the year after because I'm not somebody that lives in the past like that. So let's go. AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, all aboard. Now, there was a question earlier about JJ Arcega-Whiteside. No, I don't think he's making this roster. I'll be real with you. You've got Dallas Goedert, Jack Stoll. I was so excited about Tyree Jackson, but clearly another injury. So he might miss this year, most of it. So that sucks. But you've got Noah Togiai back. Was very excited that he came back last year. And how I feel about Jack Stoll being able to play that H-back role. But we got a guy that's more of your, the F-type tight end with Jake Calcaterra that we talked about that, is your receiver. And I think Arcega-Whiteside, that's what he was going to try for, and he is going to try for, but he's not beating him out, and I don't think he's beating out Togiai or Stoll. So, no, I do not think he's making this roster, and I'm very excited about this tight end room. I think Calcaterra, if he stays healthy, he and Goddard, man, that's going to be a nasty combo with Stoll added in there. Yep, all aboard that 12-13 personnel. Now on to this offensive line. Okay, so here's the interior offensive lineman. Now, you've got Kelsey, you've got Sua Opeta, Jack Driscoll, Sayamalu, Landon Dickerson, Sills, Juergens, Dunkel, all new this year, and then Jack Anderson. So Anderson, essentially the backup to Cam Juergens, and then you've got Sua Opeta. I know that Stoughton loves the kid. A lot of people sleep on him. I think if they really like him, Isaac Sayamalu could be out the door. But the problem is Jack Driscoll isn't back to 100%. He is still dealing with an injury. So Landon Dickerson's your left guard. Now, who is playing your right guard? Because if Jack Driscoll's not ready, you would assume Isaac Sayamalu. But here's another little inside bit for you guys. Isaac Sayamalu doesn't look 100% healthy either right now. So he could definitely get cut. So we could save some money tomorrow. I'm going to get into that. And again, go look at that video. 10 moves the Eagles can make to save cap space. And dude, it's got it all, whether they're cut, whether they're traded post or pre-June 1st, whatever it is, a restructure, extension, whatever you're looking for, their cap hit, it's all in that video. Sayamalu, Minshew, Reagor, Arcega-Whiteside, all those guys you're thinking about, you'll see if it makes sense to cut them, try to trade them, whatever it is. Go check out that video. Let me know what you think. But you've seen the interior offensive lineman there. I think for me, I don't like that Driscoll is banged up. So I'm concerned about that. But when you look at this line, when you're looking at the tackles, you realize that there are some versatile guys here too. So you've got Dillard, who's a great left tackle, but that's another guy that's in that video. He could definitely be on the trade block. So if you get rid of him, that's even less depth. But you've got someone like LaRaven Clark. They made sure to keep around, extend. Brett Toth can, obviously a versatile guy, can play tackle and guard. They like him. Brought him back again. And then Coyote Awasiko. I really like that kid. And I think he could definitely earn a spot with that versatility. So maybe if he really steps it up, or a kid like Jared Williams out of Miami, maybe if he comes out of left field, maybe then you feel a little more comfortable. But I don't think you have to get rid of Sayamalu necessarily tomorrow. So I think for me, oh yeah, that's right. My face doesn't fit on here. God. I'm going to, I do like that sidebar though thing. I think I'm going to use it. It adds like an extra hour of work for me doing that tiny little detail stuff. Then I jacked it up. That makes me really happy inside. So let's take a look at these comments real quick. And then I'm going to show you what this depth chart looks like. Oh, these are some comments I've never had before, but it looks like somebody else, ladies and gentlemen, getting a little excited to talk about the Eagles. And look, I don't blame you one bit, because that's exactly how the Eagles make me feel as well. So thank you for tuning in, and I'm glad you're feeling as excited as I am. Calcaterra said he modeled his game after Ertz. Yes, he did. We talked about that when we drafted him. It's the perfect replacement, and you're not paying him shit. Last year, we were going to trade him. We knew that. We talked about it when the time came right. We talked about a contending team needing a tight end. Sure enough, the Cardinals, love it. Got Gowan on top of that too. So, wow, Sayamalu, really? Well, that's one of the things. Go back to that video. Drew, I'm not sure if you weren't part of that one, but we talked about Isaac Sayamalu, and we talked about there's a move you can make where you don't have to get rid of Isaac Sayamalu. So I would keep him around because somebody's got to be healthy, I hope, between he and Driscoll. I think he's further along than Driscoll in terms of getting healthier. So I don't know if I'd do it. Go check out that video, though. There's one guy that I think you should just extend and save a lot of money. So do that, Eagles, please. Have we heard how far off is Driscoll from being 100%? No. But I obviously talked to people very close to him and looking about like 60% here. So we'll just leave it at that, man. I'm hoping he figures it out. I really like Jack Driscoll, man. I do. Now, keep in mind, this was 60% about like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. Let's hope he's at OTAs, putting in a little light work. Maybe it's 75%, working it into. You got a couple months. We're good. I'm not trying to freak you out. Just saying, I don't know if I'm jumping the gun on just getting rid of Sayamalu all of a sudden. This kid has another, injury in the offseason, something happens, then you're screwed, man. So you just lost Brandon Brooks to retirement. We're going to talk about that money tomorrow, man. So, yeah, dude, I try to bring it down, but it just doesn't happen. So, but man, I knew what you were going with. I do. But let's keep this rolling by looking at this depth chart, ladies and gentlemen, because for me, this gives you a better idea, and especially when we get to defense, what things are going to look like. But oh, hell yes. Look at that offensive line. I threw Sayamalu in there just because he's further along than Driscoll. So that's just where I have him. Again, anyone in green here is a new player. So they could be a free agent or a rookie. It wasn't going to outline them. It would jack this whole picture up. So, yeah, you see here, though, I mean, adding one starter, A.J. Brown, I feel that really is enough. We have the best offensive line in the game. Hurts just needs to continue developing. We had to build around him by adding a guy like A.J. Brown. So that's a superstar wide receiver going with Devontae Smith. You've got a great run game. So I feel really comfortable. The number one rushing attack coming back, pounding the rock, but a lot of play action, a lot of things happening to these defenses they're not going to see coming. So I think Nick Sirianni is going to have himself a great time with this offense. So, yeah, that depth chart gets me pretty damn excited. But wait till we get to the end of the defense and you see that one because there's a lot of green and new starting spots. So really pumped. Dude, thank you. And I'm really, really sorry, though, because as you can see, there's literally one for every single one of them, but then not my face. So defensive tackles is up next. And that's where we're going with here, man. I'm glad you liked it. It's been a lot of time because it was really tiny. Woosah. Anyways, Eagles defensive tackles, Fletcher Cox, the man, the myth, the legend. We talked about him restructuring this year. Well, he got cut and then re-signed. So it was a way to restructure him. So talked about that money. We're going to talk about it more in depth. And I hated talking about it, but I broke it down for you. If you want to hear anything about it, go check out that video. If not, tune in tomorrow. We'll talk about it. But you see the rest of the guys in the room. Now, you're not seeing someone in particular because he's not a defensive tackle. He's a nose tackle. And we've talked about that extensively throughout this all season that we needed to add a nose tackle. And specifically, we talked about Jordan Davis because this hybrid scheme that was being run last year, it wasn't, a new thing brought in this year. We did it last year. We ran odd man fronts. We had the 3, we had 5, we did all kinds of stuff. But Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave, Milton Williams, none of those guys are nose tackles. They're not. They're defensive tackles, completely different. I've explained it. You can go back to those videos, check them out. Love you guys, appreciate you, but trying to make this move. So you see Hargrave, you see Williams and Fletcher Cox, and go check out that damn breakdown the other day. I don't know if you guys like that, but that was awesome. But it took me forever to put those pictures together. But I broke down all the different schemes the defense will be running. So you can take a look at all these guys, their versatility, where they'll be playing in certain schemes. That was really fun. But you see, that room is loaded. You love it. Fletcher Cox will be gone next year. Sad to see him go, but Hargrave, that's the guy. You need to extend him, keep him around, contract year, but love the dude. He and Milton Williams, they're the future there. And look, they're going to play Fletcher Cox and Hargrave, throw in Milton Williams as depth. They're going to play next to Jordan Davis in that nose tackle position. We talk about the big boy in the middle, and you talk about none of those guys being as big as Jordan Davis. You saw the picture of them standing next to each other, man. Fletcher Cox looks just like your average guy standing next to him. So that's crazy. But the dude's a monster. And this is exactly what Jonathan Gannon needed. A run stopper. Dude, he is literally going to destroy double teams. Fletcher Cox, Hargrave, all these guys are going to feast. Go check out that show about the schemes because you look at, when you've got a 3-4, you've got the 3 guys in the middle and Jordan Davis, Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave. And then you've got on the outside, you've got Sweat, Reddick, all that, dude. Yeah. And when we go into a 4-3, it gets, the fun don't stop, man. That show was awesome to put together. It was a crazy day to have to do it, man. And, I'm glad a lot of you guys reached out afterwards, being able to talk about a lot of things. Need a lot of change in the world, man. But I'm glad I could try to bring you an escape. I know I definitely need one all the time. So appreciate you guys. Seriously, I do more than you could ever imagine. Wonder how much Carson Strong we'll see in the preseason. Probably a lot. I would imagine a lot. Yo, all right, porn bot, you're starting to jack up my comments. But yeah, I would imagine you see Carson Strong a healthy amount. We know what we have in Jalen Hurts. I don't think you see much of him. We know what we have in Gardner. He might see some time. So a lot of Reed Sinnett, a lot of Carson Strong duking it out for that last position would be my opinion. It is. I don't know what you mean. Porn bots got me drifted, dude. Got me drifting out to see. Oh, it's me freaking out. I'm sure you guys are. The graphics are on point, dude. Appreciate you. I do. I try to put a lot of time into them as much as I can. Truly appreciate the hell out of you guys. Watch all of Jimmy's videos. I appreciate the hell out of you, man. And I try to put stuff out there that you guys would appreciate and have you feeling like this person right here by the end of it. I want you to feel at the end, check mark, kiss yourself, whatever you got to do, man. I want you at the end to be like, man, I feel like I'm going to go smoke some people that are trying to tell me about something. I just want to try to provide some kind of information I feel maybe isn't out there because cap space sucks. All that stuff that I try to break down, it's not fun. I enjoy it, but I know people don't. So I try to do what I can for you. I'm glad you guys appreciate it. The videos, the graphics, whatever the hell I can do. And whatever else I can do, let me know. Dude, appreciate you. I do. And look, even they're loving it. And I can't, I'm just trying to put forth that little sprinkle dinkle at the end there. That's what I like to see. So don't blame me. This defense got me feeling the same way, man. Getting someone excited. Say, hey, this defense is what's doing it. It's not me. They're seeing Jordan Davis at nose tackle. Wait till you see this one. I think we're going to get a couple more sprinkles, ladies and gentlemen. Bring out the umbrellas. So you've got, look, and I broke this down before where, I'm not going to put a defensive end, outside linebacker. Brandon Graham's a defensive end. He's not going to play outside linebacker. He's just too old at this point. He is going to play a specific spot. 4-3 defensive end. Can't wait to see it. And he can actually provide depth in that 3-4 as a defensive end in there, which is crazy at his size. But I don't think he's going to have to do that much this year. He was thrown in the fire last year because of lack of not even depth, just starters, everybody. So now these guys can do what they actually are meant to do. So here are your edge rushers. You've got Josh Sweat, Derek Barnett, Matt Leo, Teron Jackson. Those guys can play your outside linebackers. Teron Jackson can play some defensive end. I mean, all these guys can play D end. But Matt Leo, he's the kid from the International Player Program. So we're going to see what he can do. I think he's like 6'8" or something when I remember, but he's huge. And that's great, but means nothing until you put it on the field. So we're going to see if he can step it up. But you got Barnett now as a depth piece. And essentially, think of this as just one position. This is kind of like your weak side linebacker in a 3-4, and then your defensive end in a 4-3. And you're going to see when I show you the depth chart here. If you missed that if you saw it, you'd understand what I'm saying. But I'll show you here shortly what I'm talking about. But those are the defensive end outside linebackers. Why do I keep clicking that? You cannot see me. I'm the ghost of Christmas past, Powder, whoever the hell you want to consider me. Let's keep it moving. Now, this is the position I emphasized all offseason. 31st in the league with only 29 effing sacks last year. Are you kidding me? So you got to add a specific kind of linebacker, a sand linebacker, a guy that can be an edge rusher and can drop into coverage. So we talked about this in detail last year, talked about that this year at the beginning of the offseason, how much it was necessary, and specifically Hassan Reddick. We had to bring him home, bring him back to Philadelphia. Please, for the love of God, he's here. I still can't believe it. But Patrick Johnson last year, I thought, backed up Jannard Avery quite well. So you're looking at quite the upgrade there in Hassan Reddick over Jannard Avery, but you still got the depth there in Patrick Johnson. But now you've amped it up. You added Kyron Johnson, who I mentioned earlier, one of the most underrated kids, I think, in this draft. I think he's going to shine. Got like 4.4 speed. Kid played defensive end last couple of years, but started his career as an inside linebacker. So he's got that kind of skill set where he can play that same linebacker. He can rush and he can drop into coverage. And then Ali Fayad, we talked about him, an undrafted kid who was brought in after we let go of EJ Perry. So I think that, we've got a lot of talent at every single position. So I'm really pumped up to see if Fayad can just say, hey, man, that same position's so important. I got to make the practice squad. I got to stick around because I think the Johnson brothers here, and they're not brothers. I think those guys have it locked down as the backups there. But that's going to be sick to see actually having, because last year it was like, wait, what? We got Gennard Avery back there. And look, Gennard, again, and I feel like I'm bashing you almost every damn show here, but Hassan Reddick is quite the upgrade. And look, I'll be real with you, and we talked about this last year. Gennard Avery actually did pretty well, man, especially when rushing the passer. It was dropping into coverage that he can't do well. So I think Hassan Reddick, it's a no-brainer move. Glad we made it. Cannot wait to see what it looks like on the field. But he adds to the opposite side of those other guys we first talked about. Completely different position, but one I'm very excited about. And if you guys, please go check out that video about the schemes. Go check it out because it was loaded. Let me know how you feel about all of that content because we talked about all these guys and the roles they can play. I mean, Reddick will be a defensive end in 4-3. He'll be a Sam linebacker in 3-4. I mean, we're going to have some fun here, ladies and gentlemen. Strap in. Up next, the linebackers, a position the Eagles want to ignore forever. Not this year. So we talked about Kyzir White, what he would do for this defense, adding him and then going and drafting someone. How key that would be to turning around this defense, having guys like that in the middle. Well, we did exactly that. Now, when we missed out on Nakobe Dean in the second round, I thought, shit. Well, Kyzir White, still a guy. I think he's just, dude, he is the epitome of Philadelphia football. He's a tough-nosed dude, but he can actually cover as well. I felt he was perfect for what we were looking for. But, dude, at 83, you get Nakobe Dean. Are you shitting me? So I still don't believe it, but that's quite an upgrade to have Kyzir White and Nakobe Dean. And you still got Edwards, Taylor, Bradley, who are going to get theirs. We'll see if Ellis or Stevens can maybe make the team or the practice squad. But you've got some guys in a room that was barren for so long. It brings pure joy to my effing heart to see that, man. If this porn bot is still going, can I block this thing somehow? Oh, I think I can. But, dude, I'm about to sweet chin music this effing porn bot because I can't even get to your normal damn comments. Oh, yes, that was the last one. Getting them excited. Yes, I am. One of my new favorite content. Hey, I appreciate you, man. I really do. Thank you for tuning in, dude. And anytime, if you ever want to talk birds, you can always try to reach out on these platforms. I always try to tell people, though, Facebook, not my favorite. You might have a hard time. I don't have Messenger, but do try to check. Social. Oh, okay. Yes, social dist. All right, America. Maybe an obvious passing downs, Graham to 3-4 defensive end. Well, yes, that's what I was just mentioning, JC. And if you go check out that video from the other day, that is something we talked about. And last year, that was how I tried to break the news to people that we were already running odd man fronts because there was a lot of confusion that when Brandon Graham got hurt, that it was Josh Sweat or Derek Barnett replacing him when it was Milton Williams that I talked about would have to replace him because that was his role last year. So we've got a real nose tackle. So now Cox and Hargrave can play those defensive end positions in the 3-4. So he can provide depth there. He can provide depth as a defensive end. So it's perfect, for a guy getting his age. So I love it. What is going on, my man? Jock Talk in the building. What's going on, dude? Hope you're having a great night. We're blowing through this damn team and getting pretty damn excited. We're heading into the secondary, then special teams, and then we are done. But we're going to look at the depth chart at the end as well. Put in the work. Hey, I try, man. I try to do what I can, and I really like that sidebar. I'm pretty pissed off that it's not working right now. So, son of a bitch. Dude, I'm doing well, and so far it looks to be everyone else is doing well. So I appreciate everybody that's tuning in. If you just tuned in, I hope you are well. Jock Doc wants to know if you're well, so I hope you guys are. If you need anything, let me know in the comments. Reach out. You're watching this later. You can always comment. You know the drill, but I appreciate you guys. Oh, I love every damn one of them, especially the ones that I talked about making before they happened, because we talked about how important they would be to this team, and we actually have them. We actually signed Hassan Reddick and Kyzir White, like we talked about. We actually got Nakobe Dean and Jordan Davis. Like, that really happened. We have them. And we traded for a big name wide receiver named A.J. Brown. All those things that we talked about months before they happened. And then the Bradbury thing, too. You guys remember about 3-4 months ago, we talked about what a great trade candidate. I picked two guys that, random dudes to trade for. And I said, I think that the Giants will not like that cap hit for James Bradbury. Could see him getting cut. But if not, maybe we could trade and restructure. Well, apparently there was talk of that, but they didn't like the talk of how the deal would be restructured. So he had to get cut and find himself a new deal. And he found himself in Philadelphia. This porn bot is just so excited, and I can't blame you. There's like 64 comments here. I'm trying to, well, only like 6, but still. Jesus. All right. Now we've got past that. That breakdown video was dope. I appreciate you, man. Hope you enjoyed that. I tried to throw in as many schemes as I could so people could understand, because there seems to be, keep seeing like the Eagles are going to start running odd fronts 3 and 5. I'm like, dude, did you not watch last year when we were doing it? So I thought maybe that would be very helpful to people. I saw some people saying the Sam linebackers, the middle linebacker, and a lot of articles and stuff. And I'm like, so, you guys know what I set out to do a few years ago. I wanted to change the game. I wanted people to understand the cap. I wanted people to start talking about the draft and understand it. I wanted people to actually talk about football. And I don't care. I might not have, and I do care because I would like to make it somewhere and start getting paid the big bucks here soon. But just keep putting in the work. But you see, the game has changed. People understand the cap. People understand things, the defensive schemes. And it's like, changing the game, baby. And I like to keep them waiting too, like with the drafted stuff. It's like, let's see how much you know before I post something there. Got him. Was here with you, Jimmy, during all the defenses you did. Hey, I appreciate you, man. And can you believe we got Reddick and White? Like, we really got them. And we got the nose tackle. I talked about how pivotal it was to get that nose tackle, Jordan Davis. And you're going to see why when we can run that 3, 5, all the different schemes. And if you've missed that show, go check it out because it's fun just seeing, like, because it comes with pictures of the player. So you can see where they're lining up. It gives you a better idea of what you're looking at. It's not just a depth chart. It's not just, throwing together names on a list. It's actual pictures of where they're lining up. Scheme breakdown, watch it multiple times. Oh, let's go. Appreciate the hell out of you, man. Let's go. That bot's as excited as I am. I feel the same way. I'm going to have to change my pants after this, Sean. Let's go. That Nakobe pick, all of them, every one of them. I just can't. Can I get a wrench? I'll take it. Let's go. Get it. I don't even know what that means, though. See, I don't use YouTube, so I don't have like this stuff. I use the StreamYard thing that allows me to post on all these platforms. So how do I do it? What would I do? I'm like I'm looking at your name. It says I can star your name. I don't know. I'll have to look into that, dude. But yeah, need somebody to take care of that stuff for me. Wrench some folks up to, yeah, dude. I would appreciate you guys because these people ain't doing it. And I always try to laugh them off, whatever, dude. So funny. Giants are paying for Brad for it. Yeah, they are. And we go back to those videos. People try, we can't sign Bradbury. I'm like, dude, I literally break down because people don't understand the cap. So it's like, I'll break it down for you. And I did. And I told you guys, the night before he got signed, I got a message and it just said Bradbury. It's like, oh, you shit me. I was like, what's it? Did he sign? Why did you say that? Why did you say that to me? Is he here? Do you know something? Then the next day he was here and I was like, I'm going to lose my mind because these people know, people that are close to these players, that I'm putting in that damn work. I'm doing my best. So I really appreciate that you guys appreciate that stuff because it's like, I'm trying to show people that, like, there are ways to be happy about the Eagles this offseason. And, we were, and we found out why. And, some people, well, now you can't. Now it's the safety. It's like, bro, we could trade for Jesse Bates. We could trade for Chuck Clark. Those things are all possible. Go check out those videos. And we've got more money coming. I'm telling you, those moves are still possible. The same thing can be said in those videos from weeks and months ago, but just add more money. That's it. So the Eagles are sitting pretty. This is what we talked about all last season. All the off season of last season, we said, who cares about this season? Honestly, it's going to be bumpy roads. And we knew it. We said, we'll surprise some people, maybe get 9-10 wins. Nobody was counting us for 3. Well, we surprised the world. So build on that, man. That's all you got to do. And, bro, we knew the money was going to be here. The picks were going to be here. We got a first rounder next year, a second the next year, dude. We've got extra all over the place. Chargers fans pissed about White, and they should be. Love the dude. Can't wait to see him in action. Howie, better watch my effing videos. See, I told you guys the story. Right when On the Road to Victory was started, the year I got to go in with the wheelchair. They just took my hernia off the day before, rolled me in the wheelchair. That 3-hour drive there and then 3 hours back was probably the most torturous, but it was worth it. Because not only is that ball signed by Fletcher Cox and Avonte Maddox, I think there was one more player maybe, but you know who I went after. Yo, Howie! Sitting there in my wheelchair. Because when you get brought on, they let you the on-access pass for like 20 minutes or whatever. Well, they wheeled me out. They actually, if you guys remember the story, they took me through the tunnel. I got to see the classroom. And then I have that picture coming out and Swoops like attacking me. They took me out the tunnel. And then I yelled at Howie. It was awesome. I love you, Eagles. Thank you. But I saw Howie, so I screamed at him. He came over, signed the ball, got a picture with him and my kid together. But I told him, and he shook my hand. I said, one day I will be working with you. He said, all right, I look forward to it. And ever since that moment, I've literally called every draft pick in the 4 years I've done this. And I'm pretty close. I feel like he's my long lost son. I do. But we will be working together one day soon. I would love to see it. It would be fantastic. Would. I'll tell you what, though, he may not be watching it, but we can tell other people are, because it's crazy how people start understanding the cap and understanding those schemes. It's like, got him. It's like, but look, dude, a nice little like or retweet or subscribe, what do you got against me? Just because I've got a disease and, I wasn't handed everything. Like, come on. They give love to all the people that steal my ideas, though. I'll tell you that. Don't know either. How about we do wrench? Yeah, man, I'll figure it out after this show. I will, definitely. Kobe Dean was the dog. Yes, he was. And Jordan Davis was right in front of him, clearing things up. So let's go. Now, the one concern was the secondary, right? So, well, we added to that. So Darius Slay, James Bradbury. Hello. Thank you. Oh, my God. So these are the guys that are going to be competing for outside. But I think Joby, Blackwell, Goodrich, these are guys that could definitely try their hand at the nickel cornerback position, maybe a little free safety. We'll see how Jonathan Gannon wants to use these guys, but just threw them on this list so you can see some of the outside guys. But that Slay and Bradbury are the starters. Really excited to see if Tate Gowan can improve, because I liked him last year as a late round pick. So excited when he got added into that trade. Now you're looking at some of the nickel guys. Love the Zach McPherson pick last year, but he is someone that can play inside and outside. So I didn't know where to put him. Don't really care. So I think you'd see more time inside. If something were to happen outside, maybe you throw him out there. But added Jimmy Moreland. You got Josiah Scott last year. You added Kerry Vincent and Mac McCain as well last year. So got a lot of guys. Some can dabble with a little bit of safety help, and Kerry Vincent, Mac McCain. Maybe you want to try out Moreland or Scott. But Moreland's a versatile guy that can play outside corner, inside corner. So I really like what you see there with these additions in Jimmy Moreland and James Bradbury. And then I know a lot of people were upset we didn't draft a guy in the 6th or 7th round. But as I said, we already got those guys on the roster, and we're going to add undrafted kids. That's exactly what we did. I thought Goodrich and Joby were some of the top undrafted kids. So I was excited about it, excited about the cornerback room. Safeties. This damn thing makes me want to tomahawk someone in the face. So we're going on to safeties in a second here. Let me see what this Camin is. And then after safeties, we're going to show you the defensive depth chart. We're going to touch on the special teams, and then I'm out. So if you have any thoughts, comments, questions, anything, let me hear it. Just think we got rid of Carson. Huge contract. Got first. Oh, dude. We've mapped out what we got in return. We snaked the Colts. We have, dude, the Saints. Howie's been working his magic, dude, turning things into Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown. Man, we are an extra first next year. We're sitting pretty, man. We're sitting very pretty. So I'm excited about the future of this team, as I was last year. So I think we just keep building as we talked about, and I'm going to stay excited. Now, this safety position, this is the one that concerns everyone. You got Anthony Harris getting up there in age, but still love the kid. Think that he's got a lot of talent left. And look, I think with his versatility, being able to play free safety, strong safety, Marcus Epps, he starts out more of a strong safety, but I thought last year his coverage was actually, much improved as to where, people think it is. So for me, when I did that breakdown, I told you guys at one point in that video that, it was just honestly flipping a coin for me where to put Anthony Harris or Marcus Epps, because Anthony Harris, I think, obviously, has more experience at free safety. So I just gave him that spot because that's more of an important spot, how we're going to run things. But Marcus Epps, man, if he keeps stepping it up, I think, he could find himself as the free safety. And then Anthony Harris, as he, per se loses a step, maybe he goes into the strong safety spot. Maybe you see some big nickel with Kayvon Wallace stepping in. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out there. But that's why I talk about when you're looking at the depth chart, the safeties. Jesse Bates, man, you add him there. Holy shit. But it's going to be fun to watch Sasha Ray battle it out with Maiden and Blankenship, because those guys can all provide you special teams help. But I think Sasha Ray will make it because he can help as a safety, a nickel corner, a special teamer. I love the kid. I think he stays on this team. Jared Maiden stepped in, did well last year, so maybe he can find himself a roster spot as a 5th safety. That's if we don't bring someone else. So I think trading for Jesse Bates, no brainer. You've got extra picks. You've got the money. Go check out that show on how we could trade for Jesse Bates. And then there was another one after we signed James Bradbury about how we could still trade for Jesse Bates. So check that out, explaining all the money. Going to explain more money tomorrow as we look at things. So That's going to be fun, man. But you see here, look at the green. Look at all the new starters. We have a nose tackle, a Sam linebacker, and 2 starting linebackers that can play your nickel linebackers. You got a starting corner, quite the upgrade over Steven Nelson and James Bradbury to pair with Darius Slay and Avonte Maddox at the nickel. So, holy shit. This looks like an awesome defense. And Brandon Graham, I told you guys when I made this list a while ago, I just threw him there because I love the man. He's obviously going to be, part of a rotation. All these guys are going to see their fair share of snaps. I would love to see Josh Sweat as that starter. Step it up, man. Take that role. Let Graham come in as a depth piece as well as Derek Barnett. And I think he will shine. But it's a great rotation to have. Teron Jackson, Matt Leo, we talked about. But you see that. You got some defensive tackles. You've got guys. I think Noah Ellis has a big chance to step it up because Renell Wren, Marlon Tuipulotu, they're not nose tackles, man. They tried. That's why Renell Wren was brought in this offseason very early. Tuipulotu was not that guy last year. So that's going to all be changed. I just threw it there so you see what they're looking at. But this is all going to be moved around. I'll give you my predictions on who I think makes the roster, what the depth chart looks like, all that fun stuff. But then the Sam linebacker, baby. Oh, hell yeah. Look at that. Reddick, the Johnsons. Oh, yeah. I'm excited, dude. Dean and White and those linebackers we did have, they provide great depth. And when you're running a 4-3 or, whatever you're doing, you can have different linebackers for different schemes. I'm telling you, go check out that scheme video. So I'm very excited about this team. Looking at that depth chart, it gets me pretty excited. I'm not going to lie to you. And doing that show the other day, I was like, dude, we could really have a top 10, maybe top 5 defense if, Gannon gets these guys rolling. They're on the same page. I see big things ahead. Darius Slay has been promoting Epps a lot this offseason. I think he believes in him. Well, we talked about that all offseason, man. The Eagles bleed him. Don't listen to what the radio guys are saying. They're always going, this guy sucks. We talked about Epps all offseason. If he's the starter, I'm okay with it. And, you can go back to all the videos for months. I think the kid has a lot of talent. But I think if you want to win a Super Bowl, you trade for Jesse Bates. He's part of the future. I think you're a dominant contender. What did we talk about last year? I think the Eagles are building a dynasty. Everybody's, what are you, high? What? A dynasty? And I said, yep, this is going to be the rough year. And then after that, we could be a contender. And it just depends on how you use those first-round picks, 3 first-rounders, and all that cap space. Well, we used it pretty freaking well, man. And I mapped it out what they should do. They did almost everything I mapped out. So, yes, I feel very confident in this team, and I'm not going to change that. People try to do that. I'm not saying you are, but people try to, oh, that sucks or this. It's like, bro, look, you guys don't even know what a 3-4 defense is. I'm going to pass on your opinions of Marcus Epps and Jalen Hurts. I apologize, but I've seen so many people with the blue check marks or content creators that don't even know what a Sam linebacker is or know the difference between a 4-3 and 3-4. And it's just like, oh, this is why you don't like Jalen Hurts, because you literally have no idea what you're watching. No doubt. Didn't put Joshua, was that injured last year before the playoff game? Yeah, man. He talked about being rushed to the hospital and all that stuff before that game. That was wild, man. Wild, wild, wild. So after that defense, we got the bot back. Don't blame him. Not one bit. Not one bit. But to finish the show up, ladies and gentlemen, little special teams. Oh, Powder's back. So we're getting into the final 2 here. And this, okay. Aaron Sipos, we did not bring in any competition this year for. I guess we're going to see what he looks like here. And last year I talked about this. I didn't feel very comfortable, but he came out and he looked great. And then at the end of the year, he looked like complete garbage. So I don't know, man. You want to ride with him? Maybe he's improved. Okay. Maybe you sneak in some competition here. I'm not sure. But other than that, love Rick Lovato and Jake Elliott there. Excited about this special teams unit. Really hoping Sipos gets back to his original form at the beginning of the year. Not sure what happened, but hey, best of luck to him. Now, up last, return specialist. Yes. Now, don't get mad at me. I just listed who the return specialist was. Last year, Jalen Reagor was predominantly getting all the kick returns, punt return. He got the most of them. So, look, do I want him back there? And punt returns is mostly what he did. Sorry. So, when you're looking at Jalen Reagor, though, you're mad because you don't want him on the roster or this, that, the other thing. Do not be mad at me. This kid, obviously going through a lot of things off the field, hoping the best for him. But on the field, you think maybe he can at least be, a return man as a first rounder. But he's had his issues there. He's also had some okay runs there. So, hey, hoping the best for him. But now we've got some competition. We talked about all offseason. Please, for the love of God, add some returners to compete for this job to push him. Maybe this gives him the spark he needs, or maybe we just find a diamond in the rough. So we added a Devon Allen. We added a Britton Covey. We added a Zach Pascal. You've got guys like Huntley, Ward, Scott, Watkins, Hightower, and Gainwell already here. Carrick Weefall, maybe he tries out a little bit there. He had one back in his day. We talked about Gainwell having no experience, but we did try him. So you never know what Sirianni will allow, Michael Clay to do with these guys. We'll see, but there is a lot of competition there. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what gets me excited, because there are guys that are going to push Jalen Reagor for that spot. And maybe you find a couple. Maybe you find one that's good at punt return or kick return, but I've talked about this. What if you just have one guy that's really good at that and he can also help you? So maybe a Britton Covey wants to step it up, become, that slot guy that is the return specialist. I would love that. Maybe it is Devon Allen, the hurdler. I do not care. I just want someone. I am sick and tired of feeling like I'm in the Reno Mahe days again. Sorry for taking a shot there, Reno, but literally watched Andy Reid for years. Yeah, that's definitely my guy back there. And I'm just like, what the okay, we're definitely getting to the 17 or 18 every fucking kick. If you guys remember those days. But I'll try not to harp on that. But look, that was it, ladies and gentlemen. That was your positional battle outlook. And I'm really, really pumped up about it. And I think I actually still have that list, if you guys are wondering what the dealio is here exactly. Let me find it. Sorry, I'm old. I really just said that. But here you see the off-season dates. Yeah, we had phase 1 that already happened. We are now at OTAs, May 31st. Then they will be back from the 2nd to the 3rd, then the 6th through the 8th. There will be no 11-on-11s. We've talked about this. Sirianni taking things lightly. So, look, I'm excited. Things seem to work well last year. He's really a good leader, it seems to me. So, if it works out for the team, I'm all aboard. So let's just hope it does. But that's all I've got for you, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate you taking the time. I've missed you the last few days, so it was nice to be back. But if you're watching this later, you have any thoughts, opinions, questions, whatever it is, please feel free to let me know what it is that is on your mind. I'll be back tomorrow, though, man, and we are going to be talking about the money we are saving from Brandon Brooks and Fletcher Cox. But not only that, how that affects the salary cap. And with Cam Jurgens not signed yet, how does that factor into it? So what is that salary cap space going to look like after those moves are made? I'm going to show you tomorrow. So tune in. Look forward to talking about that then. Talk about how Sippos was good for Jake. And he was. And I showed you there in the depth chart, he's the holder as well. So that's the one thing they're keeping him around for. But we need the punts to definitely go back to the beginning of the year. So yes, please. The Bills end up drafting that punter with the insane. Yes, they have the punt hog. Not calling him that. That's embarrassing. He's a punter. Important position, but give me a break. And people were trying to tell me we should draft him in like the 4th or 5th round. I was like, bro, you're joking, right? I can't do that. Love the Britton Covey highlights. If any of you guys are looking for that, there's undrafted videos of every single undrafted guy we got. There's stats, highlights of all of them. You're looking to talk about Jesse Bates. There's videos on that. You want to know how James Bradbury affected the cap? Go check that out. You want to get a little ahead of the curve? You want to know what Cam Jurgens' cap it is? Go watch that video about the salary cap and the rookies. Got all the information you would ever need. Smoke all your friends. Let them know. I'm coming with that information, baby. Let them know. Dark days. dark days. I appreciate you, man. I really do. Thank you for taking time. I appreciate all of you guys. And look, I think, those highlights got me excited too, man. So yep. Go watch those. I've been watching a lot of those again. I'm getting pumped, man. I need football desperately. Thank you, JC. Thank you to all you guys, Sean and Drew and Mike, everybody that tuned in. Swavey, all of you guys, you're awesome. I can't thank you enough. Seriously, I was just like, I'm not going to go over a half hour. Definitely not. Here we are at an hour, but that's how much I love you guys. So appreciate you taking the time. If you need anything, you can always reach out. Drew, I'm going to try to get on Facebook, reach out to you, man. But you guys can reach me on any of these platforms. If you enjoyed the content, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn that little ding-a-ling-ling notification bell on, and you'll know when I'm going live. I think you can subscribe at the end of this video. There's a little John that pops up there. Go ahead and hit that. Do us all a favor. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm out though. I'm out of fumes here. But hey, man, I appreciate you guys just taking the time. So it is my pleasure to do the work. Hopefully it leads somewhere, but you guys are coming with me wherever that may be. So let's keep it rocking. Be back tomorrow. We're going to be talking about the money that we're going to hopefully use to trade for Jesse Bates. Please, for the love of God. So I hope to see you then. Hope you're all having a great night. If not, make it a great night. I'll be back tomorrow. Stay safe out there. And as always, come on!